Hello everybody, Euronymous2099 here, and I'm back with another video. In honor of it being Pride Month, I'm going to talk about Shatterstar, one of my favorite characters in X-Men, who happens to be bi. I don't remember where he was confirmed to be bisexual, but wherever he was, it's pretty cool. So this is going to be a simple origin story kind of for him, a little bit of talk, and why you should use him in your stop motions if you do stop motions, and if you don't, well, why don't you just have him anyway on your shelf? Now, Shatterstar kind of was one of those simple characters, but he is hard to do bad, basically. There's not really a bad version of Shatterstar. He can be a pretty boring character, but that's what's good about him. In the X-Force, where there was way too many different powers and abilities, he was kind of the plainer. He was a saltine, and that makes him great. I love a saltine. And I think he has some of the most kind of lovable attributes about a character. He is complex, but he doesn't need to be full deep dive character. You don't need to explain 20 years of origins to understand him, and he can just be a pretty cool, mysterious character on his own. And this figure really does do him justice. I like the simplicity of it. But every comic book I remember with him in it never really had a gray cape. It was always a white one, so I don't know if they changed that to make it stand out more, or put in cast in white plastic or something like that. Again, this figure is kind of, I don't want to say old, but I want to say before the more comic book accurate figures came out, which have been recently. There's kind of less takes with them, so should say, like, the Logan is not really Logan at all. If you read the comic books, he doesn't really wear that kind of suit. It's kind of a take by Marvel Legends. It's what they thought they could do, and they did it okay, and I'm glad that they're revisiting it. I'm still one of those people who think that if Swagwave didn't make the Old Man Logan stop motions, they'd never even touch that property again. Because that is such an adult property, and such a cool property, that's the thing. There's literally a comic book where there's a giant venomized dinosaur, and we never got that Marvel Legends. Why? Anyway, I won't talk about that. We're talking about Shatterstar. As it is, he is a pretty cool character. He is in Deadpool 2, so if you have seen Deadpool 2, or Once Upon a Time, a Deadpool, you will see him. You will see him. The PG-13 Deadpool 2 cut, basically. He's in it. And honestly, he is amazing. I love his swords, but I don't remember him ever having the double sword and the single sword. Basically, this is 2, this is 1. I always remember him either having double or he'd have single straight. I don't mind it. I think it's still cool, but it was just something like, I don't remember that. But who knows, that could have been many of the years where I kind of took a pause from comic books and wasn't reading as much. Anyway, the X-Force is one of my favorite teams, so I'm glad to have another member, and I'm glad that we're getting Warpath. That way I can have my favorite X-Force, which is the one that fought Deadpool. If you haven't read that comic, it is honestly hilarious. It is hilarious. Warpath, Boom Boom, Cannonball, Domino, Gable, of course, versus Deadpool, and Deadpool is just cracking jokes during it, and it's honestly hilarious. And he makes a lot of jokes. I remember about Adam Warlock. The little mech version of him. Remember, Warlock thing or whatever. The bath that he's from. I didn't like when Shatterstar was in the X-Force, but then again, that was kind of the bad issues of X-Force, so I'm hoping to fix those with my new stop motions. Yes, he will be in them, and I really like him. I'm glad that I got him. If you want to see him in a pretty badass stop motion, that's going to come out later, either this week or weekend, go check out Prime Films. Go check him out. Prime Films YouTube. He's amazing. I'm going to be in his stop motion, and Shatter